Hello from Bali. This is a podcast Pigeon of Peace where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the comments below for the details. Let's talk about honesty and let's start with the definition.
I like to say that the honesty is the virtue. Virtue is this добродетель. Is it okay to say?
That's correct.
Yes. When you work in some different environments, you have some troubles. For example, as previously head of security of largest commercial bank on ex-USSR territory, I was forced to talk with some criminals, with some people. I don't know how to say pogony in epaulets.
Maybe epaulets would be a good one.
Is epaulets, and they have some different view of morale. For example, if I will speak about some criminal case and I will explain what was happened, maybe someone was murdered, and maybe ATM was stolen, maybe there were some offenses, or maybe threats by mouse or by phone was made. So I should explain my point of view. And if I would tell something which is not true, I will immediately on a lower position. Or, for example, vice versa. Someone from another side will tell their point of view, and if they will tell lie, those, I don't know how to say, in Russian, there is a word like смотрящие. Some people who are looking from above, like bosses.
Well,
Mafia bosses.
Like some sort of like a notorious gangster.
Yes, notorious gangster. Notorious is печально известный. Yes, correct?
That's correct.
Notorious gangsters. They are playing a role of judges, and if they will found that someone is not honest, it could be bad for that person. So to be honest is very hard. But I'm also saying honesty is the freedom. If you are telling the lie, you will be a filthy liar. Is it okay to say filthy liar?
Feels like a liar.
Feels like a liar, yes. And in this case, no one would believe you. Nor your side, nor opposite.
And maybe before we dive deep into the world of honesty and it's another part, we actually probably, I was thinking that we can look into maybe the street of human ability to self-excuse themselves, or like a self-excuse the actions before actually move into the area where you can, like be free. Like how exactly this mechanism works. Maybe it's something that we inherited in order to protect us, or maybe something that was developed by human because of, like all of this industrialization, or like any other aspects of the world.
This often happens. I would stick to a word. We have inherited this ability. And if we will ask scientists, they will say that common people or usual people, usual person, usual individual lies for itself at least 6 to 7 times per hour. How it works. For example, I am going to sit on a diet. Is it okay to say sit on a diet, sit on diet?
Sit on a diet or stick to a diet.
Stick to a diet. So I am not allowed to eat, for example, sugar or some cake, but I will say this is not a problem to eat this cake. And for example, for several hours, I have already eaten like 3 pieces, and I will take 4, but I have promise for myself, eat not more than 2. But I will say, okay, those pieces are small, so I could take them more. Or for example, I have a fight with someone on the street and I lose because I was beaten. But after several days, I will play a video in my head as I was almost victorious. So I have a chance to beat someone. There is a Russian saying to, I don't know how to say, махать кулаками после драки, to show by arms after the fights.
Maybe fight with the air after the fight is over.
After the fight or fight is over. Yes, correct. Or another way, when we talk about women, they have a very special ability. They could make agreement with themselves. For example, women will walk with one guy, but after she will think, oh, maybe this guy is better. And if this woman will feel yourself guilty, she could not make the best marriage. So sometimes it's happened, and sometimes women could meet 2 or 3 guys almost simultaneously. Or for example, I am an entrepreneur and I am trying to sell to you something, and I will sell this phone almost for its price. But I know that I will take like 20% on top. So our ability to make or to say lie is quite useful for us. Without this, we will not be able to build, for example, capitalism. We could not trade. We could not make diplomacy.
And when we look into this skill, I do remember that at one of the previous skills, it was a competence. You were telling that actually it's not good. I mean, it's not considered to be one of the competence to be an honest person. So how does it actually works? Like when, let's say, someone is evaluating us and we just want to make sure we're gonna be loved, we're gonna be perceived as a professional, but on another point of view, we also don't want to bend the truth. We do want to tell things as they are, and how we should approach this, how we should be so selective so that it works in a constructive way.
You should divide your personal life, your work life, and for example, hobby. You already, as it often happens, you told the right word, to bend the information. And all managers and all bosses, they bend information. For example, something happened, and I would call by one by one in my is okay cabinet, my room, how to say it?
Room or office?
In my office, I would call different guys and girls, and I will ask them to explain what was happening. And every one of them will give so-called POV, point of view. And maybe I will slightly bend the information to make them brave. Okay, tell me the truth because I am believe in your side. But this is not true. I am not believe. I am trying to squeeze as many information as possible. And after I will have like several pictures and I will put them, I don't know, just imagine everyone has like a transparent, I don't know how to say, plastic, and on this plastic is black marker, we will picture some information, and then I will put 5 or 6 these pieces almost synchronized, and I will see where is the difference. And this could be a lie of this person or another person. And if I will find, for example, that several times, 2 or 3 times, someone from my employee would tell me lie, definitely I would make several steps. First step, I will not allow to talk with me. Okay, let's talk through your boss. Now you will have boss, even you was my subsidiary. Second, if you will if you will go the same trap with your boss twice, then maybe you will be fired. Even if you are a valuable employee, but you are telling the truth, it is impossible to work with you because there is several sides. First, we lie to client. Second, we lie to employee. Third, we lie to our shareholders. Fourth, we lie to our colleagues. And fifth, we lie to state. And some of these sides are very dangerous.
Well, I do believe people at a certain point of time will do feel this border, or some people actually might be feeling, I would say, safe or brave maybe to go over it, but again, like it might be the way with no return. And somehow I do remember there was a stand-up by one of the comic, and he said a phrase which I really like. He said, like, when you're going to the custom, like passing through the borders, and you see the officer, never start answering the question that you've not been asked for. So again, like it's same thing with the honesty. Sometimes there should be a certain level of depth. It's not about bending truth, but like maybe it's about being selective, how many details you do want to provide. So how to find this balance, maybe for yourself, for your career, for your significant others.
Let's start from the custom. For example, you landed in USA and you just came to the queue to the custom officer, and suddenly you will be followed or you will be approached by a special dog, and this dog will bark. This means that this dog feel some smell of the food. Never say that you have nothing on your hand because this dog is well trained. For example, if you just eat apple or even banana, you will have the special smell, and you should not отрицать, deny that it was your fault. You should say, okay, I am ready to go to veterinary control. But if you will say, I am nothing to do with this, you will be forever put it in special row. And in any case, you will be, for example, go to the custom officer and he will say, sir, or madam, you should go to the veterinary control. So if you will broke the rule just once, you will be forever like banned. That's first. Second, for example, you will make something which is not right to your customer. The customer could replace you, and he will say, okay, I don't want to work with Oleg. I want to work with Maxim. And if several customers will do the same, you will lose your job. For example, if you work for private equity, if you work for M&A, if you work, for example, for private office, if you work like for private banking or some investment companies. And third, if you lie in your family, it could work or play for maybe 5 times, not more. But after, all your family will know that you're a liar, and they will be at first stage sad, and on the second, they start to behave with lie, and you will be not given the right information. For example, they will say, okay, I will go to work, but they will go to restaurant without you. They will say, oh, come on, we should go in Egypt, 3-star hotel, but they will fly to Bali, 5-star hotel.
Well, it seems like it's the case when the person who was using certain weapon was punished using exactly the same one. And when we speak about honesty, probably there is like a slightly different dimension or maybe continuation of the skill, which is a transparency. Like say, you know, like it could be for your team, like how to give the update, like what exactly you should tell, what should be the time, etc. So what is the difference between these two and how to approach to the transparency by using honesty?
I will give you several examples. For example, my wife, I don't know, is it true or not, maybe it's also part of the game, but she sometimes tells me that I am a joker, so I make some jokes. But I have one rule. For example, I will sell something which is not true, something about animals, about birds, about fishes, about something what is happening in society. And after she sometimes re-ask me once more, is it true? And I'm also, no, this is a joke. And several times she will ask me, why you surrender so fast? And I always have the same answer. If you will tell this to anyone else, and those people would laugh from you, and you will tell, but this was told by my husband, you and me will be looking like fools. So this is not about joke and to take some time to make fun. If you will re-ask, I will tell you the truth, that this was a joke, and you not allowed to tell the same to other people. The same, for example, with employees. For example, employee will come to your office and will give you some statement. Оправдание?
Justification.
Some
excuses.
Excuses, yes, correct. Excuse, much better. And you do not believe in some points. You, as a boss, could use such a techniques. You will ask once more, Oleg, tell me, please, this particular moment, how it was. And if on this point, when something was pinned, your employer will tell the false, you should do something, because this will go just worse. You know, I don't know how to say, but in machines or in a car, when you're trying to move your steering wheel, sometimes you will find that you already move for some angle, but your wheels are on the same position. And in Russian or in German, it has special name, Luft. Is it okay to say in English, Luft?
It could be called like this as well.
Like Luft. And if you will not make maintenance, sometimes this Luft would be has much bigger angle. And sometimes it's will be like you will already move steering wheel quite big, but it wouldn't work. So the same with lie or with truth. If you will allow to your employees, to your child, to other person to lie to you, each time it would be like half uгол degree, half of degree.
Angle or degree.
Yes, correct.
And sometimes, yes, as you rightfully say, we do have to, you know, like change, like introduce a different picture of the world to the people we work with or our loved ones. So how to deal when we do have to say something, but we don't want to get like give like any harm, but we have to, you know, like provide them with the information that should save them. Like in our opinion, should we also like try to use specific technique, or maybe should we ask ourselves, like, are we really doing some good stuff? So how to be there, so to be in this situation.
You should be hard. I don't know how to say it, but this is about a sword. You should be unbreakable like a sword. For example, yesterday my wife came at home, and my first reaction was, now you're looking like a gypsy. She cut her hairs and make some coloring, but it's not well for my side. And she will for sure will say, okay, but it is maybe Moda is fashion.
Fashion.
This is like a fashion look, and I will explain. Yes, okay, it could be fashion, and maybe your master or your barber will tell you, or hair cutter, that this makes you look well. But I have enough education to tell you that we should recolor you, and we should make another shape of your hair. And you know, it's happened like maybe each year. And after we have some quarrel and we have some misunderstanding, and after my wife will say, but everyone says to me that I'm looking so pretty, and I will explain, you know, if I want you to be self-made woman, if I want you to make success, I should tell you the truth. Or for example, I will talk to my employees and someone will say, for example, we will implant some person and maybe will take off the teeth or some other medical surgeries. And sometimes our clients are not happy and they say, oh, come on, I have pain and I have something. And I ask just one question to my surgeon and other doctors. We made everything we could to avoid this pain. Are you sure? And I have already fired like 8 surgeons because they, in this time, they have like, I don't know how to say, мельтешение. Their eyes goes in different directions and they are not sure. And they saying, yes, we are sure, but it's not true. So body of the language and the language of the tongue quite different.
And maybe sometimes it's also another case when we do have to be honest, where we do have our version of truth, but we might be competing with someone else's lie when we know for sure it's not really true. How to be or behave in such situation? Should you really, you know, like engage into the fighting, or you should be foreseeing this in advance and maybe make sure that like the moment you say the word, it weighs something?
Several times in my life, in my career, I was standing on this choice. And always I remember the phrase which I like a lot. When you are a trustful person, you are bordered by the truth. If you are a liar, you have no borders, so you could say everything. So I think that sometimes you should step back and say, I couldn't do this, I couldn't explain, I couldn't say because that's not true. But some people make this choice, and for them this is like a first step to tartar. I know, is it okay to say tartar? It's like a big hole in earth where will fall all people who are not innocent.
I would say it's good to say like underworld or tartar for those people who are not familiar with the Greek mythology. And then my last question will be how knowing about honesty could help to make this world a better place.
Maxim, if you will allow me, I will repeat the same phrase which I was using at the start of our podcast. The honesty is paramount virtue. If you are honest with yourself, with beloved, with your employer, with the state, you will not afraid of anything. You know, there is a funny joke which was made by Mark Twain, if I'm not mistaken. Someday he wrote to most famous, or as you told me, notorious bankers of the London, some notes, and it was the same text. Everything was recovered, you should run. And on the next day, all these bankers were outside of the country. And this will show you what will happen if you are not honest.
And this is how knowing about honesty could help you to make a world a better place. We review this skill and hope it will be helpful for you. Stay in peace.